Thank you.
Brande has redefined what it means to rebuild, realign, rise stronger from life in between moments. In today's episode, we'll explore how brands turn pivot points into purpose, peace, and profit, and how each of us can find opportunity in transition. Welcome beyond to 9 to 5 stories that shape us. I want to welcome you to this episode. I'm your host Rohit Jaiswal. Today we are joined someone who has mastered art of transformation, Brande Brown, known as In Between CEO. I love the name.
Thank you.
Brande has redefined what it means to rebuild, realign, rise stronger from life in between moments. In today's episode, we'll explore how brands turn pivot points into purpose, peace, and profit, and how each of us can find opportunity in transition. The first question you often talk about in between not being a setback, but a strategy. What sparked this mindset shift for you?
I think it's because I've been through so many pivots in my life. I have, worked for the company for 15 years and,
Wow.
ultimately didn't end up retiring from there. Obviously, that's why I'm here. But, the pivot creates a pause in your
Right,
life. And I
right.
think what I've learned this particular time that my pivots have happened in the last year of my life has been that the pause gives you that chance to stop and think about what's next, allowing you to kind of find that clarity and, open your eyes to that everything does happen for a reason. And
Good.
I don't think we realize that until after it happens. And then you're
And
like, oh, now it makes sense. Now I understand why this brought us here to this to this. But what I've been learning is that you have to recognize those moments when they happen, not after they happen.
true, and rightly you mentioned that you should be very alert well in before, not realize after happening. So
Yep.
being accurate, being open-minded, and always being alert, right? The second question, from building Go AMPD, guiding other brands, what's been your most defining in between moment as a leader?
I think so. Go Amped is going to be the future of promotional products and the way we do business in promotional products. So
Right.
we're in a pre-launch phase right now.
Mhm.
AMPD stands for Apparel, Merchandise, Promo, and Design, which
Wow.
is where the name evolved from. But I think when you walk away from the security of working in someone
Right.
else's system and pivot and make that choice to launch into your own programming, your own skills and what you have. That space in between that I had to figure this out and to
Right.
say, we all have all of the tools to
Right.
survive.
Right. We do.
And then
Right.
we
Of
tell
course.
ourselves things like, oh, well, I could never run my own business. Oh, I don't want to do the bookkeeping, the part of it.
It's just a reason that they come up with all time. Trust me.
Right.
Lazy
Right.
man.
It is really hard to stay in the mindset that you can do this and you can succeed. And what I've found is that as I've made this pivot, everything is being provided to me the way it needs to be provided to me. And
Right.
it's
Right. Right.
allowing me to meet the right people, to be in the right mindset, and to not be stuck in the in between anymore.
Very true. Let's not be stuck. And very rightly, you're saying, Brandon, then look at the next ladder, how things work. Third question, how do you balance creativity and
The creativity and just everything else that we have to do.
you
Well,
remember why the question was half. How do you manage it? I am seeing your profile. I'm seeing following things. How do you manage it?
The creativity, if you looked at my desk right now, you would see notepads everywhere. I'm looking literally at 4 notepads, post-it notes. So I have become the person who does write things down. I use my notepad on my phone, that type of thing. So when the creativity hits, it
Whoa, whoa.
being,
Yes.
being put somewhere, and I think that that's really important for us to be able to have that connection between creativity and what we do in the promotional product space, because I think that's what drives people into the industry is that you get the creativity, but you also have a business to run. But getting that connection of the creativity is so important for your business to run fluidly. So you have to find ways to get those ideas out of your head right away.
If your things are not creative, you won't be able to sell. Ogilvy has said this.
Yeah, and like this business isn't, yes, we're salespeople, right? At the end of the day, if you break it down by corporate rules, we're a salesperson, but we're so much more than that. And I think that that's where we get lost in who we are
Yeah,
as,
who we were.
honestly, if I can be totally honest with you, I hate the word distributor. I hate the word distributor because we are not distributors. We bring a solution to a business's challenge.
Right.
And, we have to know their brand inside
Of
and
course.
out. We have to know all their brand guidelines. We have to understand what their ultimate goal is. We are marketing consultants. We are strategy consultants. We are business
Right.
consultants. There is not one part of me that is a distributor. A distributor puts product in a store on a shelf. That's
Right.
what
Right.
a distributor does. And I think that that word needs to be just
You doing
excommunicated.
more than distributing. You sorting it out in
We
others
are.
different element where it's getting stuck for.
Yep. If I was a distributor, I mean, I would probably have a $10 million business right now because that's all I would be doing is pushing products.
Yes,
But
yes,
because of the
yes,
time
yes.
involved in the relationships that we build, it's a whole different story.
It's a different story. I agree. I'm working in this promotional product space since like 14 years. And as long as I know what you're saying is very right, you are not a distributor. You're doing more than distributing things, which you
Yep.
rightly mentioned, invoicing, sorting them out in other things, helping them out in integration of their own organization. Wow. Moving on to the fourth question. Commerce when designing merchandise that connects emotionally and performs commercially.
Really, you have to get into the heart of the emotion of the brand. Like people buy things they like, right? That's just natural consumerism, natural capitalism is we buy things
Right.
we, but unfortunately, when you're working with brands and you're working with marketing directors, CEOs, things like that,
Uh-huh.
they can't always have what they like because what they like might not resonate with who their persona is of their customer. So, merging the business strategy with the creativity and being able to pull that together and produce really cool products. I think there's a lot of things that are changing in our industry today and people don't want to show off cup with a logo on it anymore. If the cup has a cool saying on it, has some fun art on it that resonates with the actual person using it,
Right. Right.
turns into their favorite cup. But a cup with an air conditioning company's logo on it isn't happening anymore. And if you go to Goodwill, you go to thrift stores, and you
Yeah.
look at their glassware section and their drinkware section, you don't want your product and you don't want your brand to end up in, I call it the island of misfits, right?
Right.
Like
I
you
agree.
want something that people are going to keep. And
Mhm.
I think sometimes as distributors, we want to provide the fastest, quickest solution and
Right.
not necessarily dive into the heart of the matter, but the heart is the story of the brand.
Right. If there is no emotional connect, you are failing for a rebuy customer. Just don't push product.
Right.
Do it from the heart.
Yeah, exactly.
You emphasize peace and purpose in business. How do you personally maintain that balance amid growth and challenges?
One of the things that I've had to learn over the last couple of months, just based on some of my own personal situations that I've had to live through the last year, is
Right.
that peace is really, really hard to accept. And what I mean by that is we get stuck in the land of should,
Right.
and like any given Saturday, right?
Right.
You're finding a Netflix show on that you want to watch, but you know that you have a stack of customers that are asking for ideas for, holiday gifts. So you sit there and you're like, well, I should get up and I should sit down and I should work on this and I should do that and I shouldn't be watching Netflix and all of that. But you have to give yourself permission to find the
Right.
peace because if you have the peace in your brain and what you're doing, then that peace will make you more productive and more successful and give you a positive outcome in your business life too. And it's been something that I've had to reteach myself. I mean, I raised my son alone. I was a single
Wow.
mom for, 18 years and it always feels like you should be doing something. And it's okay if you're not. If you take an hour break in the afternoon to go for a
Right.
walk and not be in front of your computer, but that's also the beauty of our industry is that unless you're dealing with a rush and a event date and things have to deliver on time, we're not brain surgeons, we're not saving lives, so if you feel better working at 9 o'clock at night, which is honestly when I do the best work, know that that's when my brain works best. You have to find what works in your business to also bring you peace on a daily basis. Like it's not just about finding
Wow.
peace
Wow.
randomly, right? It's literally about living that way.
True, and such a broader thought on process where you have so much to do in your life, but you still manage your work life. Amazing,
Yep.
amazing. If
Yeah,
anybody
exactly.
wants to get in touch with you, what is your best email address?
It is right there. And it's Brandy,
Awesome.
Brande at
Uh-huh.
goamped.com. I'm Brandy with an E. Everyone knows me that way in the industry as Brandy with an E.
Wow. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.